Welcome back to NBC News Channel. Today, we will learn about the explosive developments that are about to shake Salem to its core as Justin Kiriakis finds himself in the middle of two incredibly intense legal battles that will test his skills as a lawyer and reshape multiple families forever. The November 20th, 2025 episode of Days of Our Lives promises a whirlwind of drama that will leave viewers absolutely stunned as relationships crumble and lives hang in the balance. Justin's growing legal empire. Salem's most sought-after attorney Justin Kiriakis is about to experience one of the busiest periods of his entire legal career. He takes on not one, but two emotionally charged cases that will have massive implications for everyone involved. Jennifer Horton Devereaux has officially retained Justin to represent her in what is shaping up to be a devastating custody battle against Chad DiMera for Thomas and Charlotte. Believing the children are no longer safe in the DiMera mansion following Abigail's tragic death. At the same time, Justin has also agreed to represent Sarah Horton in her divorce proceedings against Xander Cook, a case that comes after Sarah finally reached her breaking point with Xander's endless lies and betrayals. The attorney's schedule is completely packed as he navigates these two explosive situations that involve some of Salem's most prominent families. And his legal fees are certainly adding up nicely as desperate clients seek his expertise. A warning Jennifer doesn't want to hear. When Justin sits down with Jennifer to discuss the custody case strategy, he delivers some harsh truths that his client absolutely does not want to hear, but desperately needs to understand before moving forward with this battle. Justin likely warns Jennifer that her chances of actually winning custody away from Chad are extremely slim given that Chad is the children's biological father and a grieving widower who has been their primary caretaker. Furthermore, Justin probably points out the devastating emotional consequences this legal fight will have on Thomas and Charlotte, who have already lost their mother and now face being torn away from their father and separated from the only home they've known. The experienced attorney may also caution Jennifer that her motivations could be scrutinized in court, especially since this custody push seems to have been triggered by Thomas witnessing Chad hugging Cat Green rather than any actual danger or neglect. Despite these warnings and the strong likelihood of losing this case, Jennifer remains absolutely determined to move forward with the custody battle, convinced that she knows what's best for her grandchildren, even if it means destroying Chad in the process. Her stubbornness and grief are clouding her judgment, and she refuses to listen to reason from Lucas or Justin or anyone else who tries to talk sense into her. Chad receives shocking legal papers. The situation escalates dramatically when Jennifer has Justin draft official custody papers that she then serves to Chad, blindsiding the grieving father with a legal nightmare he never saw coming. Chad is absolutely devastated when he receives these papers, realizing that his own mother-in-law is trying to rip his children away from him during the most difficult period of his life. Before the papers are served, Chad confides in Gabby Hernandez about his mounting frustrations with Jennifer's interference and accusations, venting about how impossible the situation has become. The emotional toll of losing Abigail, combined with now facing the potential loss of Thomas and Charlotte, is visibly affecting Chad's ability to function and parent effectively. When Chad finally receives the official custody documents that Justin prepared, he faces an impossible decision about how to respond to this attack from Jennifer. Some insiders suggest that Chad might consider taking a short-term loss by temporarily allowing Thomas to go to Boston with Jennifer in order to achieve a long-term win by avoiding a bitter court battle that could traumatize the children even further. Alternatively, Chad could choose to fight back with everything he has, hiring his own attorney and preparing for an all-out legal war that will tear the Horton and DiMera families apart. The fact that Thomas himself wants to leave with Jennifer complicates matters significantly, as the boy's wishes could potentially carry weight in court proceedings. Xander and Sarah's marriage reaches its breaking point. Meanwhile, the other major case on Justin's docket involves the complete dissolution of Xander and Sarah's marriage, a relationship that has been through countless ups and downs, but has finally reached a point of no return. Sarah made the definitive decision to call Justin and inform him that she was ready to file for divorce after Xander's latest betrayal involving his role in nearly killing Philip shattered whatever trust remained between them. The revelation that Xander was responsible for Philip's near death came only after Maggie persistently pushed him to confess, proving that guilt alone wasn't enough to make him come clean about his actions. This latest lie destroyed the foundation of trust and therapy that Sarah and Xander had been building together. leaving Sarah feeling that Xander is beyond redemption and possibly pure evil at this point. In a heart-wrenching moment that symbolized the death of their relationship, Sarah removed her wedding rings, threw Xander out of her life, and told him never to return. The emotional devastation of Sarah's decision hit Xander hard. He realizes that this time might truly be different from all their previous breakups and reconciliations. A chance encounter in the town square. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Justin runs into Xander in the town square, where the rejected husband cuts a lonely and devastated figure. He processes the end of his marriage. This encounter is significant because it puts Justin in the awkward position of facing the opposing party in Sarah's divorce case, while also potentially offering some human compassion to a man who is clearly suffering. The meeting in the square likely creates tension as Xander realizes that Justin is the attorney who will be filing the divorce papers that make Sarah's decision legally binding and final. Despite being on opposite sides of this legal battle, there may be a moment of understanding between the two men as Justin recognizes the genuine pain that Xander is experiencing. Xander makes a surprising move. In a development that catches everyone off guard, Xander approaches Brady Black to thank him for something, suggesting that Xander's anger and rage have finally come back under control after his initial explosive reaction to the divorce news. This unexpected gesture of gratitude toward Brady indicates that Xander may be starting to accept the reality of his situation and is trying to maintain some dignity and composure, rather than lashing out at everyone around him. The fact that Xander can express thanks to Brady shows emotional growth and self-awareness that has been rare for this character in recent months. Whatever Brady did to earn Xander's gratitude must have been significant enough to break through Xander's pain and help him see past his own suffering. The divorce papers are signed. The most shocking moment comes when Xander approaches Sarah and reveals that he has signed the divorce papers, essentially giving her exactly what she asked for without fighting or creating additional drama. This stunning admission raises immediate questions about whether Sarah will actually follow through with filing the paperwork, or if seeing Xander's willingness to let her go might make her reconsider her decision. The big question facing viewers is whether this is truly a done deal, or if there's still a chance for reconciliation between these two characters who clearly still love each other. Despite everything that has happened, Sarah appears determined to move forward with the divorce, but actually filing those papers represents a final step that will legally end their marriage and make the situation feel irreversible. Soap opera veterans know that couples often reunite after even the most devastating breakups, so Xander and Sarah could potentially write a new chapter together somewhere down the line. However, the actors themselves have indicated that this separation is not something that can be quickly resolved, and that the show is exploring what happens when a beloved couple exists outside the confines of a romantic relationship. The writers and performers want to deliver powerful scenes together that don't rely on the characters being happily married, allowing them to explore new dramatic territory and character development. Something fundamental broke between Sarah and Xander this time that feels different from all their previous conflicts, making this breakup potentially more permanent than anything they've experienced before. Rachel Black's dangerous scheme. Adding another layer of chaos to the November 20th episode, spoilers reveal that Rachel Black has set her sights on Sarah as a target for her increasingly unhinged behavior. The troubled young girl appears to be planning something sinister as she prepares to put an unknown substance into Sarah's food, suggesting a poisoning plot that could have deadly consequences. Rachel's mental state has been deteriorating as she struggles with her grandmother Marlena's alarming health decline and her father Brady's growing feelings for Sarah. This dangerous confrontation between Rachel and Sarah represents the culmination of Rachel's jealousy and instability, potentially creating a medical emergency that will force everyone to deal with the young girl's need for serious psychological help. The timing of Rachel's scheme is particularly devastating given that Sarah is already dealing with the emotional trauma of divorcing Xander and trying to rebuild her life. The broader context in Salem. These legal battles are unfolding against a backdrop of absolute chaos throughout Salem as multiple crises converge during what should be a peaceful holiday season. Marlene Evans' health continues its alarming decline after she collapsed at a charity gala and was rushed back to University Hospital with a condition that appears more serious than anyone initially realized. Additionally, Kristen DiMera has escaped from Statesville prison after missing her bed check, with suspicion falling on Tony DiMera and possibly Andre DiMera as the masterminds behind her disappearance. The DiMera family's foundations are being shaken to the core as Chad fights for his children, Kristen remains on the run, and various other family members deal with their own personal dramas. This Thanksgiving promises to be one that permanently alters relationships and power dynamics throughout the entire town of Salem. The November 20th episode represents a turning point for multiple Salem families as Justin Kiriakis finds himself at the center of legal storms that will determine the futures of beloved characters and test the limits of forgiveness, family loyalty, and the possibility of redemption.